Hey everyone, and welcome to our coding quest. We're tackling the LeetCode 75, a list of the absolute must-know problems to get you interview ready. Our mission is to break down every single one of them, step by step, starting right now.
That's right, and today's challenge is a pretty sweet one. Here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what the problem is actually asking. Then, we'll cook up a smart strategy before we touch any code. After that, we'll translate our strategy into code, walk through an example, and uncover a really important interview pattern you can use over and over again.
All right, I've got my coffee, I've got my thinking cap on. Let's do this. Time for a candy-themed coding battle. Hope there's a prize at the end of this.
Okay, let's get into it. The problem is called kids with the greatest number of candies. It says, given an integer array candies and an integer extra candies, return a Boolean array result. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of formal language. What do they actually want us to do? Seriously? A Boolean array result of length n, where result I is true if... I feel like my brain is short-circuiting already. What are we actually supposed to do here? Hey, don't worry, Hunto. That's a super common reaction. The official problem descriptions can be a little intense sometimes. But trust me, the actual task is way simpler than it sounds. Let's break it down together. Okay, so let's just boil this down. We get two things. First, a list of numbers that tells us how many candies each kid has. Second, a single number, which is like a bag of extra candies we can hand out. Our job is to go to each kid one by one and ask a simple question. Hey, if I give you all of these extra candies, will you have the most? That's it. The answer for each kid is just a simple yes or no, a true or a false. So let's look at the example from the problem. Right now, the kid with the most candy has 5. That's our magic number, our target. And we have 3 extra candies to give out. So, for the first kid, who has 2 candies, is 2 plus 3 greater than or equal to 5? Yep, it's exactly 5. So, that's true. Now let's jump to the fourth kid, the one with only 1 candy. Is 1 plus 3 greater than or equal to 5? Nope, 4 is less than 5. So, that's a false. We just do that same little check for every kid on the list. Okay, that makes so much more sense now. But when I think about writing the code, where do I even start? How do I figure out who the greatest is at every single step? It feels like I'd get totally lost in the logic. I got it. We just give everyone the extra candy, right? Then we put them all in a room and see who comes out on top. Last kid standing wins. Simple. A spirited idea, Mick, but let's maybe try a less messy approach. The real secret here is actually super simple. To know if any kid could become the greatest, you first have to know who is the greatest right now. That one number becomes our benchmark. It's the threshold we compare everyone against. And this leads us to a really clean 2-step plan. Step 1, we make one quick pass through the list, just to find that single maximum number. We find it, we store it. Step 2, we make a second pass through the list. This time, for each kid, we ask our question, is their current candy count, plus the extra candies, greater than or equal to that maximum we just found? I love that. A 2-step plan. Find the target, then check against the target. That feels so much less complicated in my head. Okay, I'm ready. Let's see how this actually turns into Java code. Perfect. Let's do it. First, we need a place to store our true and false answers, so we'll just create a new empty list. Then, for step 1, finding the max, we need a starting point. So we'll just kind of tentatively assume the very first kid in the list has the maximum number of candies, just for now. Hold on a second. Why do we just start with the first kid? What if the last kid is the one with the most candies? Are we sure that's a safe way to start? That's an excellent question, Hanto. And you're right, we can't be sure they have the most, but we need some number to start comparing against. By picking the first one, we have a baseline. Then, this loop takes over. It goes through every single other kid, and if it ever finds a kid with more candies than our current max, it just updates max to that new, higher number. By the end of this loop, max is absolutely guaranteed to hold the true maximum value from the whole list. Now for the second pass. We start another loop, this one going from the beginning. For each kid, we do our check. Is their candy count plus the extra candies greater than or equal to that max value we just found? If it is, we add true to our list. If not, we add false. It's as simple as that. Okay, theory is great, but let's see this thing in action. We'll trace the code using that first example from the problem. The candies array is 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, and we have 3 extra candies. Okay, pass 1. We set max to the first value, which is 2. The loop starts.
It sees a 3. Is 3 greater than 2? Yep. Max is now 3. Next up, 5. Is 5 greater than 3? You bet. Max is now 5. Next is 1. Not greater. And then 3. Not greater. The loop finishes. Our max is 5. Perfect.
Now, pass 2. Our target max is 5. We look at the first kid, who has 2 candies. Is 2 plus our 3 extra candies greater than or equal to 5? Well, 2 plus 3 is exactly 5. So yep, we add true to our bool list. And we just keep doing that for the rest of the list. The second kid's 3 plus 3 is 6. That's greater than 5, so true. The third kid's 5 plus 3 is 8. That's a true. The fourth kid's 1 plus 3 is 4, which is not greater than or equal to 5, so false. And the last kid's 3 plus 3 is 6, so that's another true. Our final list matches the example output perfectly. Wow, okay, seeing it step by step like that makes it so clear. That simple 2-step approach took what felt like this confusing, nested problem and just made it totally manageable. Exactly. And you've just unlocked a classic interview superpower. It's called the 2-pass algorithm. It's a fundamental pattern you are going to see everywhere. The idea is always the same. 1 pass to gather some key piece of information like a max or a min, or maybe a total sum, and then a second pass to make decisions using that information you just found. Recognizing this pattern is a huge advantage. It can turn what seem like complex problems into simple 2-step plans. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Where else could finding one key piece of info first make a problem so much easier to solve? You know, that was way better than my candy fight idea, and definitely less sticky. For sure. Hey, if this breakdown helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next problem in our LeetCode 75 series. Until next time, keep coding.